Instead, the Navy ordered the Phantom equipped with 8 air-to-air missiles, 4 long-range radar-guided Sparrows, and 4 of the new heat-seeking Sidewinders that honed in on the enemy's white-hot engines. The weapons were so sophisticated, the Phantom required a second crewman to fire them, called a Radar Intercept Officer, or RIO. This was revolutionary. A Phantom pilot could hit a target he couldn't even see. The age of push-button warfare had arrived, and the dogfight seemed a thing of the past.
After every major air war, the engineers have moved in and said, that's really a silly way to fight a war, airplane against airplane. Let's devise a weapon that obviate the necessity for one airplane to go fly another airplane. And after the Korean War, we got rid of that, said, we've got Sparrow missiles, we've got new weapon systems, we'll never dogfight again.
The day of the dogfight was over. It's all going to be long range, you know, the Sparrow missiles and all that stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, that's one reason that a gun was never put in the Phantom, because, hey, the day of the gunfight's over and it's all going to be standoff shoots and all that stuff.
The prophets who foretold the death of the dogfight were about to be proven terribly wrong. In the early days of the Vietnam War, the battle in the air suddenly took a turn for the worse. In the case of mistaken identity, 2 Navy pilots were shot down by their own side. In the wake of the tragedy, the Pentagon ordered pilots to identify targets with the naked eye before shooting. That changed everything.
Along comes Vietnam, and we're trying to fight MiG-17s instead of Soviet bombers, and the F-4 was thrown into a role that was never envisioned for it.
The F-4 Sparrow missile was designed to be fired from at least 1 mile, but now it was being fired much closer. In late 1967, Phantoms launched 55 Sparrows without a single hit. Worse, the Phantom's smoky engines made it easy to spot. The most powerful machine in the air had suddenly become fair game for the cheap, agile little MiG. The Navy's kill ratio plummeted to a dismal 2-to-1. It was still shooting down twice as many planes as the enemy was, but every time 1 Phantom went down, 2 crewmen were killed or captured. In the history of American aviation, never had so many sacrificed so much for so little.
1967, I was out there on Enterprise, and to put a real perspective, something that I think everybody will understand, is we lost 17 guys in 11 days.
The problem was devastatingly simple. Navy pilots were forced to fight at close quarters, but the Phantom was built for fighting at long range.
You have to get in close with them. You have to identify them. Therefore, you're in a wrestling match with them. And you better be trained in air combat maneuver, the ability to dogfight the airplane, just like everybody's done in every major engagement with airplanes since World War I. And we hadn't been trained to do that.